again, please?
Howdy ho, fellas. Hey, it's been a minute. Hey, we're here. Listen, okay. I know I haven't recorded in a while. I'm going to be addressing a lot of it in whatever multiple parts of this video hopefully get turned into proper videos. I don't know. We're playing a little Mario 64 rando. I just want to throw that out there. This is going to be a mess of a recording, but I just kind of am wanting to touch base with you guys and hopefully get back into the swing of, like, properly recording, because I've been missing you guys. I think that's something I've been wanting to talk about, is that I haven't been here for a while, but I've wanted to be here for a while, if that makes any sense. Wet Dry World, that, you know, that could be worse. It could literally be, like, the worst thing I find myself getting into situationally when it comes to rando is if the first level is wing cap, because I cannot stand. I can't stand doing wing cap. You will never catch me doing the 8 red coins there. It just isn't gonna happen. But yeah, I just wanted to let you guys know that I miss you guys a lot, and I know if you guys have wanted a proper explanation, I'm pretty sure. Listen, it's crazy that it's been long enough in between even my update videos that I don't even remember the reason that I said I've been gone. But it probably isn't too far off from how things have actually been. Mostly it's been a lot of taking time to myself to try and figure myself out, figure out what things work for me. And really, that's kind of how it's been since I kind of took my weird hiatus in, like, you know, it's probably more like December of last year. And realistically, I'm going into, okay, to give you guys an idea of what I'm trying to do, to give myself a overall, I think, better mindset, I'm going into coming back to this expecting to have, like, way less views. Way less. And in a way, I think a lot of people, I can't remember if there's anything up here, so I'm going to try and do this. In a way, I know a lot of YouTubers would be upset about that, right? But for me, I'm just not. And a lot of it has to do with the fact, this is really tough to do. What? That's a thing? Sorry, that was actually kind of cool. I won't lie. 3 and 4 right next to each other. Let's go. I just want the star for the record. I kind of just want the star. Like, you know, I don't feel like it's that hard of a concept. I'm never gonna get the star, am I? I got the star. You wouldn't believe it. 2 stars already. But yeah, a lot of it has really boiled down to, for those who don't know, back in, what was it? May of last year, I graduated and kind of realized socially, I was feeling like everything was lacking. For a couple months after I graduated, I was actually doing pretty well. I was on the grind, especially at the time. I had, like, a bit of a surge of virality going for me because of FNF, which, listen, I'll be real, man, like, I've slowly but surely just drifted myself away from the FNF community. And in a weird way, I think I've tried to tell myself over time that that doesn't mean that, you know, perfectly normal FNFs are going to be gone. But, man, at this point, it's kind of just a thing of, like, I just don't want to be involved with the community, period. Which just kind of includes making those videos, because it purely has to do with the community. Like, I'm just straight up going to say it, man. I hate to kind of come back into this with some form of, you know, I don't know, like, angst, if you will, but I really didn't know if there were 2 stars like that. I did not think I was going to be getting 4 stars in Wet Dry World. That's freaking crazy. But, yeah, a lot of it really just boils down to the community, man. I really have grown a sort of distaste to the FNF community. Listen, there's good FNF peeps out there. If you're someone who's a very casual FNF fan, bro, I ain't calling you out. You're crazy. Freaking 6 stars. Don't tell me they're gonna make me get a majority of the stars in Wet Dry World. This is freaking nuts. This is, like, actually nuts. Oh my god. No freaking way. Can I go to Big Boo's? I can't go to Big. Oh, did they make it? You normally cannot go 4 stars, right? Like, that's just not a thing, I don't think. But yeah, I've just kind of, like, distanced myself a lot from the FNF community. And a couple months afterwards, I just kind of got into a lot of ruts with new things in my life happening, such as getting into a relationship, having to distance myself from a longtime content creator fan for a while, and it really threw me out of the loop for just doing YouTube as a whole. Like, it just made everything feel like there were other things I could be focusing on, or that, you know, I just didn't have the mental capacity for the time. Because, man, something I do want to remind you guys is that, like, if you're one of those people who say YouTube's not all that demanding, right? You're just sitting in front of a screen. You know, the very parent mentality of YouTube. Here's what I'm gonna say, okay? It is not that physically demanding. Of course, depending on what type of content you do. If you're like a Mr. Beast, it might genuinely be physical demanding. But they really, I think they want me to get the wing cap for that one, and I'm just gonna pretend like I don't see it. You know, I'm just gonna ignore it altogether. That's like a sucky situation that it's all the way over there, but yeah, can I get him? I'm so good. That's crazy. That's actually nuts, can I just say? But a lot of it really just boils down to I'm trying to really figure myself out, and I'm trying to piece myself back together, and slowly but surely work my way through it. And you know, at first I kind of was scared to come back because I knew that numbers were going to be lower. I mean, I noticed like a while back, you guys have probably seen this, but I've done like occasional live streams, and for a little bit I sort of would beat myself up when I noticed the numbers are lower, and then also sort of account that to, oh, well, you haven't been uploading that often. This is your fault. And while that is probably true, I think I'm being harsh on myself. I was being harsh on myself is the best way I can really describe things with it, right? Because admittedly, I think we're all human, and like I said, this, for me at least, YouTube has never been a physically demanding thing, right? I sit in front of my screen and play freaking video games for you guys. I make funny, stupid internet edits on the internet. What I think a lot of people, you know, and it's getting better over time. I think the stigma with it's getting better. But one of the things that never really got enough attention is that YouTube is not that as much of a physically demanding occupation as it is a mentally demanding occupation. Guys, it is very mentally demanding to do this stuff. And some of you may not believe it, but I've seen a lot of people say, like, how can it be physically demanding? I could do that easily, and yet they've never touched a video editing software a day in their life. You know what I mean? Like, it's that kind of thing. They've never had, like, a huge audience of, like, 1,000 plus people more. I say huge and say 1,000 because I need you guys to remember, like, I know in YouTube lingo, 1,000 subscribers is, like, not much at all, right? It really isn't. However, it's one of those things where you kind of gotta, like, stop and think about the number itself, right? You gotta, like, picture that in a room, and you realize that even just, like, 100 people is kind of like, whoa, right? You put 100 people into a room, it's kind of a lot, and I don't think, I think, like, when you're at, like, 100 subs, it doesn't really affect much, but during the time I've been on this break, it's kind of, like, sunk into me that I'm like, are there really 100,000 people that have, you know, hit that subscribe button because they actually feel there's something to my content? And I'm just a 19-year-old on the internet making just content, whatever I want to do, really. And, you know, some of it just happened to blow up into virality, and it just kind of did its thing. Like, it's I don't know. It's kind of a surreal thing to me. Again, I blew up on the internet when I was pretty much starting high school, guys. Like, that's something to remind you guys. I blew up when I was starting high school, which is... Oh!